Explanation of Archangel Michael's last message. I thought it was clear enough, but as I expected, I've experienced backlash to this message. Archangel Michael said, we must go peacefully to the higher dimensions, otherwise ascension will not occur. Those who seek to fight or cause disruption will not ascend. The fifth dimension requires a peaceful mindset, not one of anger and strife. It is a vibration of cooperation and respect of all others. He also said, if civil war breaks out in America, then those not participating or instigating will move forward. There are many others who seek to help quell rioting and outbreaks, but the way to stop outbreaks is to do as we are doing here in this group, not to use weapons in order to stop them. Before you consider picking up a weapon, remember your ascension process and whether it is important to you or if meting out justice is more important. He also said there are earth angels and these could be military and police force members who are tasked with doing this type of work, not you. They've done everything they possibly could to facilitate your ascension and yet you fight it. Well, it's your choice. The fact of the matter is the form on my website is to be used for questions for Saint Germain, not to argue about Archangel Michael's last message. If you can't even use a form I put up on my website for the purpose it's supposed to be used for, it scares me that you own a gun. You're a loose cannon with no boundaries. He also said it's your choice, so what are you complaining about? It's your choice. Keep your gun. Defend your family, go to war, but you'll be left on the lower timelines while the rest of us ascend. See ya later. The reason you think you need a gun is because you're fear-based. The reason you think you need to defend your country is because you're fear-based. You're mind-controlled, brainwashed, and totally caught up in the DS manipulation of your mind. Why do you think you have to defend your country? I've been living here for 61 years in this post-nuclear world and I'm still alive. You think there's a war on terrorists? Who told you that? George Bush did. Who do you think the terrorists actually are and why do you want to fight their wars for them? You need deprogramming. It's so obvious people make jokes about this, man. I saw one the other day, large cache of gold discovered in Uganda. America sends in the military to defend Uganda against terrorists. You've been dancing to the tune of the military-industrial complex's need to grab all the riches for themselves and to kill anyone who opposes their agenda to rule the world. You're brainwashed. Come up to Canada and live. When you say you have to defend Canada against terrorists, we'll just look at you like you need to see a doctor. When 9/11 happened, I got 3 days off because they emptied the towers in downtown Toronto, but I knew nothing would happen up here. 9/11 was CGI. It was a clowns in America operation, like they all are. Wake up, man. Now we have the DS we're facing as opposition. Do you think a gun is going to stop them? Don't you think they have bigger weapons? Don't you think they could kill us all off with the push of a button? Do you think your gun is going to stop that if they decide that's what they're going to do? You haven't been reading our messages because the ones who are stopping it are the Galactic Federation. They have been since World War II. In World War II, don't you think the Jews had guns, but when the Nazis came for them they were taken anyway? You're suffering from a divide and conquer mentality. You're afraid of other people. The reason you are is because you don't trust yourself and you don't use your mind to create a peaceful reality for yourself. Maybe Archangel Michael put up this message so that you guys would have a look at yourselves and see where you are on this issue. He meant it, I'm sure, but every message any of my channels put out is always intended for you to have a look at yourself. I know a lot of you aren't doing this and it's your own problem, not mine. Your gun gives you a false feeling of safety. It's not stopping anything except maybe a burglar or a home invasion. I don't have a gun, but I just have good locks on my house. Don't you think it happens here too? I've been broken into before and I learned. Make sure your home is locked and burglars can't get into it. You have a war mentality. You think the streets will be crawling with people trying to break into your homes to steal all your food and money because there's no food in the stores. Do you really think they're going to do that? Really? When they go looting and rioting, where do they go? To the retailers because they figure they have more than the common man, so they break in and steal there. They're not going to take your stuff or threaten your family for a bag of Cheetos. The fact is, you don't trust anybody. You've fallen victim to their brainwashing, their mind control. They taught you not to trust anyone else and you believe it. If you don't trust someone not to try to break into your house, guess what? You're going to attract that. Your thoughts will attract that fate. And then you'll say, see, I was right. I do need a gun. No, you have to stop fearing bad things will happen to you. That's what you need. This is all about metaphysics. If you're not afraid, nothing's going to happen to you. In my small city here in Ontario, I don't really see any of the fuss that's going on in other parts of the world. Come here and live. It's actually boring. Why does nothing happen around here? Why don't we have riots here? Why aren't people raising the city? Because it's too small of a target for the DS. They hit on Ottawa instead. Like it's been said, stay out of the capitals because that's where everything's going to happen first. I've told you, Ivo has told you, that you create your reality. If you decide you're going to be fearful and stay on a lower timeline, then it's your choice to experience every shitty thing that lower reality has to give you. You attracted it. Change your mind, change your life. For most of us, all we have to worry about is maybe food shortages and high prices. It worries me that so many of you believe that there's going to be a big showdown between you and the deep state. We've told you that the people in government now are actors, and the only reason that they're doing the things they are is because they need to wake people up. What are you going to do? Shoot a bunch of actors? When you continue to believe that civil war is the answer to rid yourselves of America's problems, you're only perpetuating the cycle the DS put in motion eons ago, continuation of war. That's what Michael was saying. Stop warring. Let the bad actors be taken out by the ones tasked with that job and stop fearing the DS. With your attitude like that, I'm glad I don't live in the States. Ivo's even warned me to get away from the border, and it's probably for this reason. If America erupts because you guys can't do things peacefully, I don't want to be near the border. By the way, if you have a gun and you believe you should use it, I'd have to be really surprised if you've ever experienced an ET craft, at least one of ours. Maybe you've seen one of Earth's fleet or a negative gray ship, but generally our ETS don't show themselves to people who would shoot at them. They bleed too, you know. The other thing is, because they're of unity consciousness and you're not, they will have a hard time explaining anything to you and have you understand it. Kind of like I am here now. I can't even understand why you'd be part of the weekly meditation group if you're this fear-based. Get over your fear, man. You'll see the whole world in a different way.